Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything. Channel likes try anything, so you don't have to. Today's video is a tutorial video about the CASIO WS-2100H, which has a module number of 3466. Now in this video we're going to be showing you how to use this watch, how to get the best out of it and the functions that this watch has to offer. And also there will be, if there's anything I've missed, there is a link to the actual CASIO instructions via their website. So to start things off, as you can see, there are on this watch, you have got 1, 2, 3, that's a blank, 4, 5 different pushes which all do different things depending on the mode that you are in with this watch. So obviously you've got the adjust button here, which allows you to adjust things like the time, or if you're on the alarms, it allows you to adjust the alarm settings, and the same with the countdown timer, etc. Obviously this will allow you to cycle through the modes, which this watch has quite a few of them really. And then this one is the light function, which I'll show you after this. And also you do have start and stop and lap reset at the bottom. What you can see here, you've got a display which has got the days of the week listed here. You've also got a graphic indicator here. Now in this instance it shows you the time counting up to what would be 60 seconds. But on different modes, say for example on the stopwatch, you'll notice it'll start spinning around when you have the stopwatch activated. It'll start counting down when you've got the countdown timer activated. And when you are doing the steps, this part will allow you to see how close you are to your goal. And what you will notice when you're doing the steps, which I shall show you later, that this you see the two little markers there in the center, that will alternate between off and on, just to show you that the step counter is counting steps. Underneath that you have what will be the time indicator here. So you've got the hour, the minute and the seconds, and then below that you have the date, in which you have the year, you have the month, and you have the date within the month. Now the first function to show you is how to operate the light. Now the light is, as you can see, you've got a pusher to the top right hand corner, which is indicated by what would be the embossed lettering which spells out light. Now this light function, you do have a delay which is 1.5 seconds, but you can also choose a 3-second delay. So as when you press the button, it'll illuminate for 1.5 seconds, or if you've chosen the option, it'll illuminate for 3. So if I move this watch over to the left, if I press the light button here, what you'll see is the little LED here. And I'm also showing you just a quick clip here showing you what it looks like in darkness and semi-darkness as I'm pressing the light button here. And again, you can see the single orange LED to the left hand side of the display. Now I'm going to move it back over. What I'm going to show you how to do is to change it from 1.5 seconds illumination to a 3-second illumination. So if I keep my finger on the adjust and cycle through the adjustment parameters that you got here, and eventually you will get to where it says LT1. Now that LT1 refers to the actual light. So in this case it's the one means it's basically 1.5 seconds in which the light will illuminate for. But if I press what would be the start stop at the bottom, it will change to 3. So if I press the adjust to finish my adjustment, again what you'll notice now is that will stay on for what will be 3 seconds. And to change it back to 1.5, again keep your finger on the adjust button to the top left hand corner until it says set, and you can see things starting to flash, and then use the mode button to start cycling through to what would be the LT part, and then again press start stop, and then it's back at 1. Again press adjust to stop it, and then what you'll notice then when you press light, it is for 1.5 seconds. And that is how to adjust how to operate the light and light delay adjustment on this watch. The next thing to show you is how to operate the mute function on this WS-2100H. And again, it's easily accessed by pressing the adjust button, so keeping the adjust button down, and then what you can then do is use the mode button just to quickly cycle through to where it says key with what would be a musical note. So as you can see there, the key with the musical note is flashing there, and again press start stop, and what you'll notice, it says mute, and there is a little graphic icon here with a musical note with a cross through it, and then press adjust to stop it. And what you'll notice then, as you cycle through the modes or operate any button on this watch, there will be no beep. Now to turn it back on, press the set until it starts flashing forward through using the what would be the mode button to get through to that where it says key, or in this instance it will be mute, and then press start stop at the bottom, and what you'll see says key with the what would be a musical note to denote that it will sound a beep every time you use a what will be a button on this watch. So again, press adjust to stop it, and then I'm not sure you can probably hear the slight beep that will come out of this watch. Right, the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to adjust the time and date on the CASIO WS-2100H, and it's as easy as just keeping your finger on the adjust button, as I've shown you for adjusting the backlight illumination delay, as well as adjusting the key mute sound. Just keep your finger on the adjust so it flashes set a couple of times, and what you'll notice is that 8,000, now that refers to the amount of steps that you, like a goal for each day, and I'll show you how to operate that later on in this video. But if you want to move it on, obviously you just keep pressing the mode button. So if I want to zero off the seconds, you just press one of these two buttons, which in this case will be start stop, so that zeroes off the seconds. Now if the seconds are over 30, what it will do, and you press the start stop, it will add a value of 1 to that while zeroing seconds. Again, mode to move it on one. So if I want to add a couple of hours here, so if I'm a couple of hours out of sync, so if I go to 3 o'clock, but if I've gone a little bit too far, I can press lap reset to go backwards on that. So let's stick with 2:19. Now the next one, what you'll see is that it's on the minutes. So again, if you want to go forward, you just press that. If you want to go backwards, you just press that. The next thing will be the 12 or 24 hour format that you can change, or it's known as military time in the USA. And again, it's just as easy as pressing what would be the start stop, and that changes to 24 hours. And again, can you press that? That doesn't do anything, but again, press it to go back to 12 hours, and then one more time for 24 hours. And what you'll notice is that the P disappears, because obviously we're in an afternoon time scenario here, so it is now 1400 hours and 20 minutes. But again, if I want to put it back to 12 hour, you've got the PM or the P denoting the afternoon being it PM, and it now reads as 2:20 PM. So if I want to move it on to what would be the year, I press the mode button at the bottom left, and then press start stop to go forward and backward. Again, the same with the month, forward and backward, and one more time for what would be the date within the month. So that was the year I adjusted, the month I adjusted, and what's flashing now is the date within the month that I'm amending. And there you go, you go back to the set screen, and you just press adjust just to make that final adjustment, or to complete the adjustment phase of this watch. Now you can adjust, you can come out of the adjustments any part of whatever you're adjusting. So let's adjust, say for example, go back to the year. So if I just press adjust, it will take you back out of that. Now what you'll notice is that you couldn't adjust the day within the week, and that's just simply because it is an automatic calendar. So whatever dates you put in there, it will work out the day of the week that the date corresponds with. And that is how to adjust the date, time, 12 hour, 24 hour on the CASIO WS-2100H. Right, the next thing to talk about is the watch's inbuilt step tracker, or pedometer as it's also known as. Now, it isn't a mode per se, it is something that happens in the background of this watch as you are going about your daily business. Now, what you're going to make sure is that the watch is on your wrist correctly, it's not loose, and also just bear in mind that it's not the most accurate of pedometers or step trackers that you can get on the market, but it is a nice indication of how much you are moving about on a daily basis. What I'm going to show you here is a video of just how the step is or the step tracker is working as you are walking, just to give you an idea so you can see the certain things that are happening here. So for example, at the top you can see that there is a bar chart, which I'm going to show you quickly as well when I go back to how to see your steps, but you can see how it works and how the graphic indicator to the top right hand corner is working as well. So back to the normal view of this watch. To access your steps, what you're going to be is on the timekeeping mode, which is the mode which displays your local time, day and date, etc. And then what you press is lap reset. Now that will take you on to what will be your steps that you have done for today basically. Now as you can see, I haven't worn this watch today, hence why my steps are at 0. But again, as I said, what you'll see in the video that I've shown you earlier is at the top you'll see there's like a bar chart. Now the bar chart is an hourly bar chart that measures up to 1,000 steps, and the bar chart will measure up to what would be 7 hours, or indicate 7 hours that have transpired. You can go backwards to see what you have done over the last 7 days, I believe. So as you can see here, for example, here I did a couple of days ago for the review video of this watch, I did about a mile and a quarter's worth of walking. So as you can see, and also the day before I also did the same amount of steps, just to see how this watch works, and you can just get an idea of how you are doing over time. So you can see what I'm pressing is just start and stop, just to get an idea of the amount of steps I have done. Now if you want to go back to your normal time and go back to your normal day, then just press the lap reset. That will take you back to the normal timekeeping mode. But again, press it one more time just to see the steps that you are doing, and the tracking and the graph that you got here, and also what you've got here, which is your graphic display. Now what you'll notice is that what you'll start to see is the little segments that will start to appear. Now if you've set a goal of about, say, 8,000 steps or 10,000 steps, and you've got the step indicator here, what you'll notice is that the graphic indicator will go all the way around the dial until you reach the goal that you've set. So in the instance of 8,000 steps or 10,000 steps, etc. Now what I will mention is that basically there's probably a bit more to this watch than I'm going to explain on this video. So again, the instructions are listed below if there's anything I've missed, because there is quite a lot to this watch. Now going on about the steps, let's go to let's find one where you've got the steps here. You can clear it by pressing what would be the start and stop and the lap reset. So if I just go find that again, and if I press the 2 together, what you'll notice says clear, and that will clear the steps off if you've got an amount of steps that you wish to clear off. Now if you want, as I've shown you, I've cleared the steps for that one day, but you can clear all of the steps for the whole 7 days that you have of recorded steps, and that is easily done by pressing the start and stop and the lap reset together, as you can see here, and it is clearing the steps first, and if you keep your thumbs on them, it will clear all of them. You'll get an audible beep, and then what you can see, there is absolutely nothing recorded for the last 7 days, and that's how you clear the steps for the whole log for the step counter. Now if you want to set a goal, for example, if you want to set, say, 10,000 steps that you want to achieve each day while wearing this step tracking watch, what you do, you keep your finger on the adjust button until it says set. Now that is in timekeeping mode, I will mention, and what you'll see is the first flashing thing that happens is that it mentions steps. Now you can press the start stop to go up, and then you can press lap reset to go back down. Now this will, I believe, go up to about 50,000 steps, in which you can specify for as a goal. But what I want to do is just go back to 10,000, because that tends to be what will be the de facto on the amount of steps that people try and achieve in one day. And then once I'm done with that, so obviously you got 10,000, so you got the 10 with the 3 zeros, and then you press adjust, and that is now your daily step goal set. In a nutshell, that is how this step tracker works on the CASIO WS-2100H. And as I've just mentioned, if there is anything I've missed, then please refer to the instructions that I've linked to in the description box below. Right, the next thing to talk about is the stopwatch mode on this watch. So if I just press the mode button down the bottom left hand corner, as you can see here, you are greeted by the stopwatch here. The 001 refers to, in my understanding, the amount of records that you are producing when you are, say, for example, activating the stopwatch or activating any kind of lap times or split times, etc. Here it's just a graphic indicator that the stopwatch is working, and also you've got the main measurement of either the elapsed time, split time or lap times, depending on how you configure this screen, which I'll show you in a second. And underneath you have got what is the main local time to you, on which is featured on the main timekeeping screen, which is this one here. So back to the stopwatch. Now you can turn that so you can see split time and lap time by just pressing the adjust button here, and so as you can see it says SPL for split, LAP for lap. Now if you want to change between split and lap time for whatever's dominant being displayed on this watch. You just keep your finger on the lap time, and what you can see, it's been swapped over. So now the lap time is being presented to you dominantly and the split time just underneath. And if you want to swap it back around, you can easily do so on here, and it's as easy done as that. So now split time is being shown and lap time underneath. Now what I would suggest for this watch, because I've got to be honest with you, I'm hoping my understanding of how to operate this stopwatch is what Casio is intended, because it is not easy. If you look at the instructions, they just don't, I don't know, they don't really indicate what you do, or my understanding of it, it probably isn't, I probably haven't understood it correctly, but this is my interpretation of how to operate this stopwatch. So what I've done, I've put the main timekeeping screen on here, because I'm going to treat this stopwatch in two different ways. So ignoring the SPL, I just want to measure in elapsed time. So I've hidden whatever the lap time is, or if you've got them swapped around the lap time or split time, etc. I've got that hidden there because it just gets a bit confusing. So what I've done, I've just indicate the timekeeping mode time here, or the local time, and what I'm going to do is just measure an elapsed time. So I'm just going to press start stop, and as you can see, it is now measuring an elapsed time. And if I done a race and I just ended it really quick, I just press stop, and as you can see, that is my end time. Now if you want to resume the stopwatch again, you just press start again, and it will resume in the elapsed time. If I want to stop it, it's as easy done as that, and if I press lap reset, it will clear it off. And that is how you measure elapsed time. Now if you want to measure any kind of split times and lap times, you just press the adjust button again, and it will show you between the two being measured here. So if I press start and stop, and as you can see, they're both running concurrently together. And if I press lap reset, obviously it's measuring the split time here, and then you are measuring the lap time here. Now obviously, as you can see, they are flashing because it is still going on. So if I release it, the lap time is now 789 seconds. So it measures in a hundredth of a second, and that is 7 seconds. And again, you've done split time in that. And if you don't do anything with it, it will release it after that. So that is how you just measure any kind of split times and lap times again, just by featuring them two measurements there and just pressing the lap reset, etc., just to advance on whatever you're doing the split in and whatever you're doing the lap time in. And if you want to stop it, you press start stop. If you want to resume it, you just resume it again. And if you want to press it to stop it, you press start stop, and then you press lap reset to reset it. Now what you may have noticed is, as I was doing the split times and lap times, you will probably notice that you'll see these increase. Now that is the amount of records that this watch is keeping for your split times and your lap times here. And what I'll show you next is what is the recall mode. To recall the times that you've recorded, depending on the run and stuff like that you've done, it does it in a kind of a date format and a time. So say for example, you've run a couple of races over a certain amount of days, you can go back in the time that you've recorded it and on the date you've recorded it as well, just to see what times and what split times you've done it in. So if I just go to 2:42 on the 15th of the 6th 2023 and press start stop to start looking at the entries that I have done, you can see that you can do that. And you can cycle through it, or you can go through it if you've got more than one entry by pressing the start stop. If you want to come back out of that entry and look at, say, something a bit different where you've recorded a bit more than that, you can easily do so. And then if you want to come back out of that, you can also press the adjust button to start looking at other dates and times. Now if you want to clear it off, you just got to enter one of the entries here, and then when you start to see the times and stuff like that, press the two buttons here and you'll see clear. And what it's done, it's cleared that record. And if you want to clear everything, go into one of the entries and keep your two thumbs or fingers on them two bottom buttons for a couple of more seconds, and then it'll say clear all, and that will clear all the records. Right, the next mode to talk about will be the countdown timer mode. Now you can just cycle through to it via the mode button at the bottom right hand corner if you are on the timekeeping mode. And what you'll notice is it'll say TMR, and at the minute it's set for 10 minutes. Now to start that, all you got to do to start your time, all you got to do is press start stop, and what you'll notice is that it will start to count down. So for example, here you can see that the countdown is happening per second, and also what you'll notice is that you've got the local time, or the time that you are featuring in timekeeping mode, towards the bottom. And also you will have a little graphic display there which is just indicating the seconds in which it's counting down. Now to stop the timer, all you're going to do is press start stop, and then press lap reset to reset it to whatever time that you have set it to. Now you can adjust the amount of time that you want on the timer. So if you keep your finger on the adjust button, and again you can, I believe it will do up to what is 60 minutes. So if I just go backward here, so I went forward there and I press by pressing start stop, and to go backward I'm pressing lap reset. So let's see if I can just do it for the 60 minutes. So it's at 0. So if I press adjust to come out of that and press start stop, just there, and as you can see it's 59 minutes and 58 7 seconds, etc. And again start stop, and then there you go, lap reset. And to adjust the, as it's shown you, adjust the what would be the minutes, I believe you can also adjust the seconds. So if we say for 10 minutes 9 10, and then if I want to adjust the seconds, so if I go backwards this time just to show you and keep my finger on the button, I can do it for 10 minutes. Oh, gone a bit backwards, so just use that one to go forward. Then I can set it for what would be 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and again press start, and then press stop to stop it, and then press reset. Now what will happen is, as you're getting close to your timer setting or your timer goal, so for example once it starts getting down to 0, within 10 seconds of it the countdown is reached, it will start to beep just to show you've got 10 seconds left until the time that you've set has elapsed. Right, the next mode to show you on the CASIO WS-2100H is dual time. Now dual time is accessed from the timekeeping mode or any other mode that you might be in by pressing the mode button here, and if you cycle through to where it says DT at the top, which refers to dual time, what you'll see, there will be two different times listed here. This is the time in which you set dual time for, and that is the local time that you have in the what would be the main timekeeping screen that you have on this watch. Now what you can do is you can adjust the time depending on the country that you're heading to, or the time zone that you are visiting, or the time zone that you are communicating with loved ones or business associates in. Now just press the adjust button there, and what you can then do, you'll see the hours are flashing, so I can either go forward or I can go backward by pressing either of these, start stop for forward, lap reset for backwards. And if I want to adjust the minutes, it'll allow me to go up every, what would be every 15 minutes. So as you can see there, it's starting to go up there, and that is it really. That's how to adjust what would be your dual time. Now you can also swap the screen, you can also swap the time, so you can have what would be the timekeeping mode there and the dual time that you are there by just pressing this button here in the dual time mode, and it says swap. Press it for a couple of seconds and you've swapped it round, and that is the main timekeeping time, and then that is your dual time there. And again, to swap it back, it's as easy as that. Not sure why you may want to be able to do that. That is an option that is available to you in dual time on this watch. Now the next mode to show you on the CASIO WS-2100H is what will be the alarm mode. Now this watch features 5 independent alarms, and it also features an hourly signal. Now to cycle through them 5 independent alarms, you can just press the start stop here. As long as you've got AO etc here, that obviously means that you're in the alarm mode. So you can see alarm 4, alarm 5, and that is your hourly signal there, which is indicated by SIG and the 00. And again, going back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hourly signal back to 1. Now to turn on the alarm, you press you go on the alarm function that you want to go on. So in this instance I'm going on alarm 1, and then you press lap reset. Now that means that the alarm is now on for alarm 1, and you can turn it off again by pressing lap reset. So turn it on, turn it off, and what you'll notice is while it's on, you've got that little icon towards the top left hand corner. Now that will be shown in whatever mode you are in, so you know that the alarm is active on this watch. Now again, I want to turn it off, and it's as easily done as that. Now if you want to set the alarm, so let's say set it for what would be 7:30 in the morning to wake you up ready for work, just press the adjust button on the alarm that you want to amend, and what you'll notice straight away is that the alarm is now active. So I want to change it to 7:30 in the morning, so just by keeping my finger down on that, and again I've gone a bit too far, so I press lap reset to go backwards, and then basically go backwards just so I can get it to the 30, and just press it a couple of more times. And as you can see, that is now set for 7:30 in the morning. But I don't want the alarm on, so all I want to do is just press that button again and it's alarm off. So the same will go for the other alarms. You can adjust it by just adjusting that button there by pressing the adjust. And again, as I've mentioned, as soon as you start adjusting alarms, it will turn that alarm on. So again, press the adjust button to come out of that function, and again I want to turn the alarm off. Now if I want to just turn the hourly signal on, I just forward through to where it says SIG, which is for the hourly signal, and then just press lap reset to turn the hourly signal on. And as you can see, there is a little bell icon there which you can see in whatever mode that you cycle through to. So to turn it off, again you press lap reset. As long as you are on that SIG, you can turn the hourly signal on and you can turn the hourly signal off. And that is the basic premise of how to use the alarm functions and hourly signal on this watch. And that's it in a nutshell, really. And going back to the main timekeeping mode, there is probably a lot more to this watch that I haven't really covered. But as I've mentioned a few times in this video, there is instructions to this watch below. If this is a watch you don't own, then I have included an affiliate link to this watch as well in the description box below. And I really do hope that this video has given you some help into how to understand how to operate the CASIO WS-2100H. And if it has, then please give it a like. It always helps the channel. If you want to see more videos coming soon from the We Try Anything channel, then click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.